whether that be George, as we saw in the opening matchup on Inferno in particular, or HexT throughout the night, as we got to see NRG for 6 maps yesterday. HexT was a menace as well. Absolutely brilliant performance from him across 6 maps. That's not an easy task either. It's a lot of count in one day. But we're going to hop into Inferno and actually figure out what is going to happen. We're already live. Carson run into by Autumn. Fall down. George is here to enter the B site with his time. They started on the T side. Breeze got one as well onto CJ. George is spotted, and much like what NRG did for the bulk of Inferno yesterday, they see George and run the other way.
And it makes sense. He also has the dualies in B site up close and personal, and they got a pick towards A, if I'm not mistaken. So that weakens the defense, and of course they can race forward. You're only good for one OC, a very quick trade. That's the site taken, bomb down. I don't think there was a kit in play. The action started a little bit too quickly for me to check, but I'm assuming there's not because of the dualies. So a 2 versus 3, and the frags have to come quickly because of that lack of kit. Molotov still in hand for Breeze as well. Buys extra time, staving off George at Porch. Bomb halfway gone at this point. They have to spring their play and quickly if they want any chance in this round. Rush a good start. George on the dualies, spots a second but can't get the kill. Swing and decided to rush to find that. Breeze gets one, but George has to deal with the player pit. Because of that, the bomb has ticked too far gone. Breeze gets the kill for good measure, but even if he fell, the round was curtains. NRG take away the first on the T side. A very solid start from Breeze. 3 kills.
Breeze and HexT, the dynamic duo from yesterday. It's Breeze who gets things going in the pistol round. Starts things off nicely for NRG. Might have come down a little bit too to the wire on that retake. A nice shot from Rush to really spring things back in. But no kit means that retake eventually had no teeth. But a force buy-in from Nouns now. Junior on the scout to counter the Galil MAC-10 pairs. And the AK for Breeze. MP9s on George and Rush. 5.7s for Carson and CJ. Armor and 2 helmets. That'll be a little bit extra, those 2 helms on the 5.7 players. Do not count that pistol out, particularly on the close confines of Inferno. But as it stands right now, NRG are probing, trying to avoid a stack. A wise policy. And they will try and let the MAC-10s figure that out first before potentially dropping a rifle and giving that over to the hands of Nouns. Smoke for arches will give Junior a good idea of what's going to go on. That Molotov as well will help out considerably as to what is happening. But do they go for the rotations? Do they even attempt this here? I was going to say they could save all 5 and basically try the same thing again in the next round, just have a little less utility. That's not a bad call, especially as there's smokes walling out the entirety of the A site from Arch side. And that's going to be the call here from Nouns, and not exactly something you see all the time, but considering the circumstances, a very smart call.
Anticlimactic end, but it's a smart call. Round kind of just fizzles. NRG know they made the right call. They could be happy with that. But they might get a little bit inquisitive. They don't know what Nouns are packing, and they want to figure it out. Did they go for an investment, and now are they trying to save it? Are they on full USPs, gamble stacking B with rifles in the following? What was the buy from Nouns? NRG, as you can tell, slowly starting a bit of a hunt. Just the MAC-10s pushing CT spawn. It makes sense. Get the info. Once they spot that scout, there you go. You know what's happening. They invested. They're going to have these in the following round as well. It's going to be a weird stack, perhaps. It's all the info you need for NRG. They'll keep all the weapons in hand, as will Nouns. NRG will secure a second, likely a third off the back of it.
A likely third. Unless the 5.7s, the SMGs, and the Scout can have more impact in this round than the one prior. They'll get a little extra utility back into this round, Nouns, which is good considering they do have a decent amount invested into it, not having to invest this round, but it's better to have the bonus, or the backbone rather. Now, a little bit of banana pressure here from NRG. It's a 4-stack here from Nouns. Carson over at Sandbags, mowed down by Nitro. A bit lucky to get out of that one as Nitro. He was blind for a good chunk of that engagement. No damage really exchanged back onto NRG either from Nouns. OC down to 64, but that is negligible considering everything going on. Junior and George and CJ are tagged down as well. And that the scout, rather, of Junior over on A alone has seen nothing. But NRG's probe pays dividends early, and that's exactly what you need to do against this kind of a buy.
It is. Slow and measured. Figure out where the stack is, because there is, in fact, a stack in play. All four now leaning towards B. Spam is so good from Automatic. Lots of damage done to George. Now at 29 at Carr. And finished off by the very same man. A little bit of team damage on the Nitro. He's slowly picking apart this stack. Finds a second before falling. Good amount of cash from that Mac 10 kill. Automatic. Dismantled, however. Rush jumping up. Finds a Galil. Now he has a real chance to do some damage. Don't know how keen Nouns will be on saving in this round, because they'll have more than enough money in the following to invest. Given the fact that the Galil's a less than ideal rifle, Rush might be inclined to go for some additional damage.
Yeah, I would have liked to see the Galil go for it, especially that scout too. I don't think saving the scout is the right call here. Unless, wait. Saving the armor is what Junior's doing, because that'll get him Nop.
Yeah, saving the armor.
Yeah, he's not saving the scout, he's saving the armor. And having Rush there to make sure that scout is saved, or rather the armor is saved, is a lot more worth an extra kill or two.
Does Hex cross? He does. There's no kill, though. So they will both survive. Galil is a serviceable weapon, but it's still less than ideal when compared to an A1S.
Honestly, Rush could have dropped the op over, and that would have been a better economic call.
Yeah, it would have given Junior some utility.
Mm-hmm.
Rush could still buy some as well. And the fact, normally I'm like all four foregoing helmets on the CT side. Right now, against the bonus, not quite as much. Rush is 4,500. Buy a helmet. The other two I get because they don't have the money.
I think he got tagged, so he would have had to buy the full 1,000.
There's a Mac 10 and a Galil against him, and he knew there's a Mac 10 in play. It could be disastrous. George assuades my worries, though. Swinging down Banana, he'll find the first. That is the Mac 10 wielder in Nitro, trying to get ahead of the utility. Automatic, though, is also quite low. Good start for the defense with rifles in hand.
It starts with George, who will then get slapped in the face with a Molotov. He'll fall back, and not sure what that spray was from HexT. Maybe potential sound cue from Automatic that somebody's behind, but he's very low as well. Breeze in the red at 21 HP. Lots of damage going back against this NRG squad, and George will end up with his first multi-kill of the game. Carson's in a good spot to shut down the rotation as well. A good trade is there in effect from behind, but Carson's not even going to stick around for that, although Breeze will catch him on exit towards Boiler. Still a 4 versus 2 for Nouns, and if they can clean up this gun round without losing more than one player, be huge for their economy. Junior's op now holding at Carr. That is the lone defender of B. Get the rifles rotated over, and NRG are actually going to end up saving here. Not liking their chances at this round, given Breeze's HP. Not wanting to give over these AKs. OC has a good amount of money as well, and so does Breeze. So they can drop over if they need to. They're not going to be terrible economically as far as getting another buy is concerned in not the next round, but the one after. I don't hate the save.
No, I don't. They were both known. 2 versus 4. He's had to get the kill on apartments, and the second player was spotted middle. That was OC. So with no real opportunity for surprise and a 2 versus 4 effectively locked out of the site, combined with, as you mentioned, Breeze's low HP, just makes sense. Do we see OC drop the AK for an op? I think he did pull it out a couple times on Inferno yesterday, but it's not going to be the case now. He's going to stick with the rifle, dropping an AK instead. Very solid investment for them. The same for Nouns as well. Carson taking the Galil, Rush upgrading to an M4. Junior still with the op in play, but yet to really find impact with it.
A little bit of chip damage going back and forth across these two teams, but so far, slow start in the round. Nouns trying to claw their way back and get this one tied up at 3. Rush over on Arches, only getting one. Teammate smoked off. Carson goes through and actually does manage one before falling. Automatic there for a bit of a late trade. Awkward fight given the flashbangs through. But we're sitting at a 3 versus 3, level footing, as George rotates in, abandoning the B site, which is not a bad call considering NRG don't exactly fake all too often. There's one from Junior as CJ finds OC. Automatic out balcony, spots out the gun barrel of the op and actually catches Junior from behind. That's a big kill to find. At least damage is done economically. That's going to be 3 kills that need to be 3 guns reinvested in for Nouns. The op saved over is big, but that'll honest the CT economy quite a bit here. And for NRG, they can still buy up with AKs and Galils, although a half buy may be more on the cards from them. That does seem to be the case now as they start to filter in with buys. Do some economic damage, get a bomb plant, keep Nouns on the ropes when the guns come back in round 7.
Yeah, that would be ideal. Nouns making the right reads, though, with George specifically buying the MP9, knowing it's going to be in compromised investment. That was a big thing I harped on yesterday. It felt like Nouns were slower on the pickup, slower on the reads, and that Nitro was kind of not running circles around them, but definitely getting the better of the calls as an IGL. Carson, better head on him in the early goings of Inferno this time around. NRG, a slow one, with focus towards alternate middle. 2 in the apartment, slowly slinking up. Bomb in tow on a 3rd. 2 bottom middle, just holding for a banana press and a brackets peak.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if I was reading accurately when I said in the initial pre-show maybe Nouns were going to experiment a little bit yesterday. Try some different things in preparation for the RMR. Because this is more along the likes of Nouns that we know. The way they're reading, the way they're playing. Or maybe they're just thinking, hey, writing's on the wall. We lose, we're done. No more funny business, let's get the job done. Job's not done.
Still going for those proactive rotations, at least in the early round. Finally, a play from NRG. 20 seconds left. They let it get away from them. Junior and CJ, good openings. Reese finds inroads towards Pit. And Automatic seizes the day as well, racing forward to find Rush. 3rd and 4th player were both towards Arch and are now smoked out of the site. Automatic and Breeze, a pair of M4s for their trouble and bomb to the ground. A real opportunity for this T side to do damage, economic damage, which will really hamper this CT side. Swing comes through. George only good for 1. Breeze a trade and now in the clutch. A 1v3. He's found the first, spots the op, but can't beat the dualies. It's Junior with the pistols and the op to find 2 in the round, and Nouns to tie things up with a 3rd round in a row.
That was the game plan for NRG. Kills plus plant. They achieved it. They keep the economy hamstrung for Nouns. There's not going to be much residual cash across the board as George will have to reinvest. At least for Nouns, they haven't had to rebuy an op since its initial purchase. But when you look over across 2 players at 200 and 150, Carson and Junior good on money. George is all right. It's not ideal. However, NRG are still scraping the bottom of the barrel. They're buying all in. They've got money. They've got utility. But they don't have anything left. And that puts them in a bad spot as strings of rounds here from the CTs. That's a great peek from Junior. Wanted to see that op get impact. And he's starting to find it here too. That was a missing piece yesterday from Nouns as a whole. And it's definitely going to make the CT side a lot easier on whatever map. But it's going to lighten the load on George. Rush has also been good on his anchoring over on the opposite side of things. George and Junior, though, looking to hold down this B site. Junior with that smoke dropped will reposition with his big green. Still has an incendiary to play around with as well. But that smoke and the ops presence has at least stalled out this potential B take. Waiting on a lurk towards A from Breeze, which is interesting too, as it's usually automatic on that lurk. He was the first casualty, though. So Breeze will pick up the pieces, at least attempt to. But Nouns, not going for those proactive rotations this round, Nate. They're not even going for peaks. Both sites are passive as can be, just playing the angle game. And it's a good read considering what happened yesterday.
Giving Junior first contact at dark, waiting for the multi-kill master to swing off contact. Rush just spotting towards Arch. I like the idea, but Breeze is quick. He is wise to that play. George re-smoking B. That will be the call. That will be the change. We have arch control. We're now going to go towards brackets instead. 25 seconds left, though. Time is beginning to potentially get away from this T side, and there's still 2 defenders here on A. They're both in pit and both poised to shut this down. CJ only good for 1. Breeze and HexT unseat the pair. That is a big set of kills to find, and that gives NRG an opportunity now. In fact, in a 3 versus 2, it might just be Nouns saving the guns for another day.
It probably will be, considering that the A-side retake is going to be very difficult without any Molotovs, any smokes, any HEs, all of which Nouns lack. So NRG are going to keep their lead here on this T side. It's a great read with that arch control from Breeze, and another great round from him. He's having himself a game so far. You want to see a pair of players taking over. Breeze had a good series against Nouns yesterday. Automatic and Breeze right now, those 2. Although George and Junior maybe getting in a couple of exits. Nitro the one to fall. At least forces some reinvestment out of this T side, but it's always easier to get those AKs and everything else up on the offensive. Nouns, though, with Rush and CJ being relatively broke, are going to have to buy back in. And NRG are the first team to call a timeout, despite maintaining the lead, not liking how close and tenuous these rounds have been. Also, the fact that Nouns won 3 in a row once the guns came out.
NRG been doing a lot of improv. A lot of last-second decisions, last-second rotations.
Relying on individuals.
Yeah, because you saw last round, they had to pivot from B to A with 20 seconds remaining because of a single smoke that George held out for. That's it. That's what caused that full hullabaloo, that full race back towards A. And they were lucky that they got both kills while only losing 1. The bomb carrier was dropped, and they bought just a little bit more time from the pit. It would be a whole different ball game with Nouns at the helm instead. NRG don't want to let this get away from them in the same way. Oh, it was too close. Want to lock things in. And this round is pretty important as well. If they win it, Nouns are going to be forced to save in the following. They have next to nothing left in the bank. So high stakes round for both teams, in fact, as NRG are also similarly hamstrung economically.
Carson chucks in some utility down bottom. Banana and Nitro and Automatic both tagged near equally, 59 and 60 HP remaining. That's a great bit of utility onto Carson, though, who's hemorrhaging health. He'll run into the fire and somehow stay alive. He is lucky to be out of there with his health intact. George down below the 50 HP mark as well. So that is going to be a lot of damage taken over by those players holding down B. The op of Junior's actually made its way towards A, and I believe it's a double-up porch. Yeah, 1 top, 1 bottom porch here from Nouns. CJ and Rush, presumably. Indeed it is, CJ and Rush. And an A pops on the cards here from NRG, but if they don't flash... Wait, do they even have they have 1 flash. If it is not used for brackets, this is going to get ugly. The porch hold is very well positioned. In comes the flash, but it's dodged. The Molotov way too late. Rush brings down way more, though. I think he tried to go back through, but he's able to escape onto the site. Time is dwindling down significantly. Great flash, but CJ just sights. Instead of fighting out towards Arch's Junior, though, from pit. 1 onto lane. A chance for an Arch wrap if the bomb was recovered. But time fleeting here from NRG. 25 seconds to go. Very late on the clock. CJ trades out Rush, and he's still alive. 1 more. Actually, it's Junior. CJ in back sight. He'll double down as well. A couple taps to the head. And what a lockdown play from CJ and Junior. Rush just buys time. Allows his teammates to clean up the rest. Only 1 casualty, too, despite all of that utility damage for NRG towards B. A round off the back of an NRG timeout that does not pan out. That's a great response from Nouns.
No bomb plant either, as I mentioned, really hurts NRG's economy. They're going to be on a half buy, Tech-9's, a Deagle, just a Glock for OC. Meanwhile, Nouns have a chance to build up their defensive economy, and that would be a big help for them to build up some resiliency. Junior's op is activated. We said will it, and it has. Playing on balcony and then on pit. Double up towards porch. Quickly dismantled off the back of the flash. Very good from Nouns not to overcommit to the duels and leave their opper stranded. A chaotic fight in the site, but they still held it down again. Mainly due to that lack of time. NRG just had to go through smokes. Just keep on leaving themselves too little time to maneuver around the utility. NRG again stacked towards alt mid / apartments. They're going to get in the smoke and wait for it to fade. CJ is going to have a lot of targets ahead of him. The AK spray can be very fickle indeed. He'll fall back before the smoke dissipates, but he needs to be very careful. Big Test is heading his way. He has support from Rush and from Junior at the arch. Pop comes through. CJ doesn't come into a fight, just waits, and that is his undoing. Hex takes him down. Nitro finds Rush. That's the A site taken. And Junior now already walking back towards arch. Are they going to give this round away solely off those 2 ticks? Seems like it.
I think you can't really go for a 5-man hold retake on A, especially considering its pistols around. Very difficult to clear out. We saw how easy that was for Hex to win the fight. Didn't see Nitro's fight, but just Tech 9's clearing out of sight. All you need is 1 headshot. Very good running accuracy. Very good gun in that situation. NRG will keep themselves above water again. Maintain a lead. But it's still very close. Very back and forth. And you can't exactly rely on pistols to win you the round.
No, but if you're given the space, if there's too much respect being given, you can abuse that. NRG did so perfectly in that round.
I don't know if Nouns were expecting the pistols, though, to be completely honest.
Didn't seem like it.
I think they were expecting a force.
It does make sense because CJ had no helmet. Normally you'd have a helmet, especially against pistols.
Mm-hmm. And just the way he was playing, it didn't look like you. Holy crap! George just doubled up on Banana, and he's still alive out of all of that with spray going back his way. Fire at his feet, just flames.
Sitting on the wrong side of car.
Yeah, he just took a wild, dry fight Banana and won both. And now he's coming to help A.
The rotation and an immediate shutout, not even required. The round's over in the blink of an eye. 1:20 left in the round. That's what, 35-second round?
Yep.
Shut down from George on one site and a complete shutout over towards A as well.
He even got the last kill, too, for good measure.
Quick clap back from Nouns to make that one from NRG look like a flash in the pan. NRG's economy now is kind of all over the place. They had some extra money in the bank because they want a half buy, which means they can get some AKs now for Breeze and Nitro, but everybody else is hurting. Hex is on a Mac 10. OC's on a Deagle. He's had a very rough first half. It makes sense as the T-side opera of Inferno.
Well, who hasn't on NRG besides Breeze?
All right, he'll activate with a pistol, though. Junior taking down, losing the Opera's duel against a pistol, of all things.
Not the first time that's happened.
Probably won't be the last. A flash towards Banana's the call. There's 2 players ready to defend. They're behind the smoke, though. And in fact, it's only 1 for George this time. The multi-kill master taken down. Carson blinded with no one at anti-flash support. He's taken down quickly by the Mac 10. 2v4. At this point, Nouns probably going to consider the save yet again. Inferno, a notoriously common save map, especially for the CT side. As you can tell, Rush already holding for exits, posturing for a quick escape in a couple seconds.
At least they don't need to save the op. Junior has the money to buy one, so they can keep the AKs. That's a big thing. You want the headshot potential on the CT side. But George gets punished finally for that over-aggression on Banana. Not so sure why Carson was exposed in the open once his teammate falls. But good utility and good discipline from NRG to still clear up. That's why they got that kill so easily. If Carson's not blind, if they don't flash, it can get 2 very easily and completely change the round. Buy time for rotations, maybe force NRG away, maybe even get more than 2. But we're going into the last round of the half here with a good buy from both sides. George will have an M4. Plenty of utility as well across the CT side. Those 2 AKs saved over. And NRG, AKs and util as well. It's about as even as it gets here in round 12. And the early utility fight going to go slightly favoring NRG. 20 damage to 10. Now a little bit more as Nitro gets tagged down by 8. Oh, there's a nice fight from George, but he only gets the one. Nitro there for a good quick trade. Carson this time, learning from the last round. Backing away to site, smoking it off, playing time. He'll get reinforcements from Rush, but the bomb is still over towards A. It's apartments and ready to go as the full NRG squad groups up for this take. CJ on balcony needs to enable Junior to at least take a clean fight at brackets. Without that, the round collapses.
The Opera gets encircled. He's going to be simply not able to rechamber around. Misses his first shot, though, and Breeze will activate off that. CJ trying to support is instead caught. Breeze finds them both. 2 versus 4. Normally, Nouns would call a save, but it's the last round of the half. They have to go for it. No reason to call it quits. So they'll trudge forward into a very disadvantaged situation. 2 versus 4. Good utility on Rush and a smoke for Carson, along with kits on both. It's possible, albeit very improbable, especially with that spam. Rush down to 47. At the whim of Hex, just spamming on the timing. Molotov will further keep them at bay. It should be just a matter of time before this round is done. NRG looking to make it a tenuous lead of 7-5. The question is, when will their shots land? The first found, the second follows. 7-5 for NRG as we hit the halftime break.
Your shadow keeps talking, and we should stop talking. But we got that special something. Say it like you mean it, I won't fake it and believe it when I see it. But for now, I just be breathing, doing nothing. I won't cave in if you won't make a move right now. Oh, why do we go 360? You're hesitating, now it's busy. You know we always can go easy. Won't you let me know? Why do we go 360? You're hesitating, now it's busy. You know we always can go easy. You should let me know. Oh, I'ma be clear now. Patience is really not my key, but if you play your cards right, I might just think about it twice. Yeah. Say it like you mean it, I won't fake it and believe it when I see it. But for now, I just be breathing, doing nothing. I won't give in if you won't make a move right now. Oh, why do we go 360? You're hesitating, now it's busy. You know we always can go easy. Won't you let me know? Why do we go 360? You're hesitating, now it's busy. You know we always can go easy. We can go easy, boy. You should let me know. I've been giving clues and you're acting all blind. Trying to make some moves, but you're staying behind. How come you don't get it when I say it like that? Like that, like that, like that. I've been giving clues and you're acting all blind. Trying to make some moves, but you're staying behind. How come you don't get it when I say it like that? Like that, like that, like that. Oh, why do we go 360? You're hesitating, always busy. You know we always can go easy. Won't you let me know? Why do we go 360? You're hesitating, always busy. You know we always can go easy. You should let me know.
Well, here we are. NRG, a slight lead into the second half of their map pick. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the mic here throughout this evening and throughout the rest of this qualifier as well. It's the ESL Challenger Atlanta North American closed qualifier. And now Nouns on the T side. They won that pistol round on the T side. Lost it on the CT side. Both, I believe, last night and tonight. At least tonight for sure. We'll see what they're going to be able to do with another mid-scrim. Not getting the fights they were given last night on this map, on that pistol round on T. Breeze won and given a long fight for the second. He should have been traded long before able to get CJ down for the count. OC is not cleared out in pit, and he will capitalize on the opportunity as well. Not going to finish off Rush, though, as Rush and Junior will now try to lock things down. Rush will get the safe plant. Junior's so far away. Rush is done. And that's just about the round here. Even though there's no kit for NRG, it's almost impossible for Junior to make this retake work. And now they know exactly what's happening. Nitro will get the trade on Junior, and both pistol rounds going the way of NRG, who have struggled on the pistol rounds as of late.
I was just going to mention that. I was just about to mention that. We had some stat lines being thrown around the chat last night. What was it? Going into the best of 3 between Wildcard and NRG. Now, NRG were something like 2-26 in pistol round victories.
Yep. I think it was 3-26 because they won 1 in that last map against Wildcard.
They did win the very final pistol round in that one. That was 1 out of 6 total in that series.
Yep.
Hey, the fact that they find both here is pretty big.
5 and 28?
Yeah.
The numbers are getting better. We're just over a fifth, or under a fifth, just barely.
They say pistol rounds are 50-50. NRG's investment's quite good, but Nouns eking out that bomb plant are able to go for a force buy of their own. 2 Galils and an AK, along with a MAC-10 and a Deagle. Scary proposition for NRG, but they don't know about it just yet. The MAC-10 flying by does find the first in the round, however. Breeze, the heavy hitter, taken down quickly and alone. 2 more on A to defend, but they have a lot of angles to worry about. The Galil chips away automatic, and OC can only put up numbers for 1 in the site. It's HexT and Nitro, both wielding SMGs, both B-site defenders, and both heading for the hills as the trend of saving on Inferno continues. Makes sense. A 2 versus 4, simply not feasible, especially with SMGs compared to rifles.
Yeah, it's definitely not a very viable retake. No kit either. Makes it all the more difficult. And now an M4 and a FAMAS saved 4 Nouns into the next round. The force buy works perfectly. And this is something that has come through on CS2 and MR12 in particular. It's arguably more important to win that second round than the opening pistol. Now, a couple of kills from Nitro will actually help out significantly. If he gets traded, though, he will not. That would have been big. But Rush will swap to the Galil from the FAMAS, and I will count that as an upgrade. Because who wants the FAMAS?
Speaking of upgrades, Nitro gets an M4 for his
troubles.
troubles.
Yeah. And 1200.
He's kind of quietly climbed to the second frag on his team as well. He was hit and miss yesterday. He's now second to Breeze. Hex has had a far slower start than you would like if you're an NRG fan. Nouns cobble together their buy with another AK and a pair of MAC-10s. And NRG are trying to take the fight early, albeit to very little success. Carson again to MAC-10 to find the opening. Round it is on to HexT. Will Nouns try to force this issue, or will they reset? That's the question. It looks like they're going to slow down, wait things out, make NRG uncomfortable. We're going to see a CZ yet again, this time in the hands of OC. Saving a bit of extra cash in the bank for an op in the round after next, I'd assume. NRG, full stack towards A. That appears to be the wrong read, as Nouns have migrated over towards Banana instead, leaving just CJ to throw the fake towards A.
Fake's been thrown. Jig is up. And NRG might actually go for this. They're starting to make a move. The bomb's yet to be planted, and Nouns are going to figure out what's going on very quickly here. Bomb will get planted. George and Junior both have AKs. Junior holding the line. Spots out 2 over on Carr. He'll only get 1 out of the 3 that he saw. And then this 3v3 comes a little more dangerous, but now with that Molotov being thrown, looks like the save call has been initiated for NRG. They will actually come out of this round with more weaponry than they did in the one prior. But for Nouns, they don't really care about that. They're just stacking rounds on the board, clawing back, getting closer. If NRG want to save, let them. Let them
3 rifles. for NRG in the next round is a scary prospect.
I don't think Nouns are too worried.
I don't think so. NRG should still be saving in the following regardless. Just drop those pistols, Breeze and OC. Actually, with 3 rifles saved, they might be compelled to go for it. Honestly, it might even be worth taking a timeout and talking it out, because this is a potential tipping point for them.
Yeah, they do have 2.
So they'll go for the save, though. That CZ dropped. I believe the 5.7 will be dropped over as well.
I don't know if OC's going to buy anything for that op.
He shouldn't.
Yeah. He'd be the only one who could drop the 5.7. Lots of utility being used at Banana. Automatic's eating the brunt of it. Breeze will get 1 on Junior, but Carson 2 on the Mac Daddy, charging up. Swaps over. OC and Breeze continuing to hem him in, but George, that's a big kill to find. As Breeze was trying to hunt down the back lines, man advantage to Nouns. OC's M4 beginning to rescale through middle. But on the other side is Rush. Meanwhile, the USP of HexT finds damage, and not even that much at that. OC, the last one standing. Rush is here. George is here. They're reading this well. They know where OC is. He's somewhere alt mid or middle. It's all down to timing, though. He'll get 1. And the second 2. He's flicked around, and Carson's in no man's land on B. A very winnable round now for OC. One of these 2 players will end it with 4 kills, and that will determine who wins the round.
OC knows as well. The bomb is not down. That means it's probably going to be at T steps. He holds alt middle for the moment, now rotates the long way around. I don't think he'll be quick enough. He'll hear Carson, though, jumping down, grabbing the bomb. That's the information he needs. Now he'll race behind. Carson, though, has also stalled his pace. Game of cat and mouse. The question is, will Carson have enough time to plant and reposition? Will OC steal away this round with a 1v3 4K? 20 seconds left. Carson's letting time get quite low, but he is committing towards B. OC, do you waffle? Do you oscillate back towards A when you don't see somebody in the next couple of seconds, or do you hold your ground? The answer is you hold. Carson running, gives it up. OC swings. OC steals the round. 4K for him, an upgrade. He doubles his kills in this round alone, and now he can also easily afford the op going into round 17.
Definitely a timeout to be called from Nouns. You can't let OC slip the gap like that. You have to shut it down. He should never be getting that second kill. That just puts Carson in a rough spot.
Absolutely should have had him dead to rights. Now, to be fair, OC had the right read. Why is that guy bottom middle holding T steps instead of middle proper? That's because he has a teammate behind him.
Yep.
Good read from OC, but again, even with a good read, you should not be getting away with that kill.
No. At least for Nouns, I can buy up again, have rifles, Galil's on a couple, maybe 3, depending on what Rush wants to do utility-wise. Off the back of the timeout, what can Nouns do? 3 Galils, 3 players without helmets on NRG. Keep that in mind. Only 2 kits as well, but the utility's good for the CTs. Will Nouns slow down the pace, though? Those Mac 10 openers from Carson are not going to be a factor anymore.
Swap.
Yeah, it's interesting. You would have thought the op would have been a priority.
$7,000. Just drop the AK and buy it. You'll still have full utility. Clearly prioritizing the rifle, though, and I can't blame him. He's had a good round with it. 4 kills in that last. NRG on the brink of being reset. The same could be said for NRG, though. They have a couple players with money in the bank, HexT and OC. Everybody else is below $300. Flash in, this time for Nitro, the IGL, and he won't overstay his welcome. 1 and falls away. That's George taken down again. George trying to put the team in his backpack. Again, one player cannot do all the heavy lifting.
He's had a little bit of help from Junior, but most of that on the CT side. Rush needs to win that fight. So much damage and yet not the kill. OC escapes with his life. Now a 2-man advantage in favor of NRG. Looking for double digits here. Also the fact that Nouns are broke if they lose this round would set NRG up for 11, a 4-round lead over Nouns. A little bit more damage onto Carson. Nitro top second oranges. Doesn't even need to do anything as it's HexT here as well. Nitro through an automatic as well, looking for all the damage. Junior 1 out of 4, or 5 rather. Molotov might give him a second option. He knows where HexT is and Nitro too. HexT is gonna burn, but how does he win the fight? How does he win the fight?
I don't know. I was like, that's a second guarantee, maybe even a third, depending on the timing of the swing.
Yeah.
Like, that was a good setup for the Opper of the T side this time to steal away a potential round with 2 more kills off the back of the first. But HexT is heating up, evidently. Literally and metaphorically. Still lowest on the scoreboard, but hitting shots like that, it's only a matter of time before he springs forward.
It's Glocks and 1 Deagle. Nouns will not be able to do much in this round. A couple of kills here and there. And 1 response actually from the Glocks, which is nice for Nouns. Can't really expect too much more. HexT will go through. OC will get another. And so CJ, with the bomb on his back, and a whole host of NRG players on the other side, will get a double dink onto HexT. And not much else. Still 2 kills, not too bad considering Glocks and 1 Deagle was all they invested.
So the lack of investment. Yeah, bomb plant would have been cool, but NRG were playing forward because they were not going to let that happen. Economy at a spot and their score line at a spot where they can kind of justify that. Play more aggressive to get the information early. You might lose a player or 2, but preventing that bomb plant to further hamstring this T-side economy to prevent the ball from rolling whatsoever, probably a decent trade-off. Carson on a Galil instead of an AK, if they got the bomb plant, that would have helped. They have good utility on this T-side. The question is, can they put the pieces together? OC's getting confident with the op getting activated, which is the smoke, misses the opportunity onto George, but he gets away. It's just information for both sides, respectively.
So far, just chip damage in this round. 3-2 split for Nouns on the default. The bomb yet to make a decision where it wants to go. One for Breeze, but he's traded out by George Jr., going for some entering, allowing his riflers to have a little bit more space to work with. OC on site could be in a tight spot, especially as the Molotov lands and bursts right in front of him. Carson goes down swinging, but automatics doubled up too. Rush traded back. Here comes HexT around towards the flank, and CJ now 1 out of 3 required for his clutch. Expects another one coming brackets. Nitro walks in, and CJ peeks a little bit too far to the right. Another big one for the in-game leader of NRG, and they've got themselves on map point of their map pick, 12-7, a much more stable and clean look on Inferno than what we saw yesterday.
Much cleaner. This map was kind of won by Nouns' CT side in the second half. They, of course, flip-flopped starting sides in this series. I think they won 7 rounds while only losing 2. But losing both pistol rounds definitely hamstrings their momentum on the defense. So Nouns find themselves in a hefty hole. Buying whatever they can. Mac 10 for Carson, very scary proposition. Same for CJ. Tech 9 for Junior, and Galil's on the remaining pair. George, excuse me, had a good performance, but not a great performance. I think the main issue has been he's going first in a lot of these duels, where yesterday he was second, playing off contact. Straight race in towards B is the call. HexT overwhelmed at the box, but Nitro, the IGL, spamming the smoke, keeps things even and honest. 4 versus 4. He continues to spam to just keep them from taking space. The bomb has yet to go down yet as well. NRG undoubtedly going to attempt this retake.
No reason not to for NRG even after that. Breeze kill makes it even more likely. Carson up close and Grill can only find 1. Automatic through the smoke for the last. And that'll be the finishing touch on a solid map for NRG. A 13-7 scoreline on their pick. And they deal with Nouns quite nicely, opening up this series, this rematch here between these two sides. I've got no complaints really from either side for the most part. NRG played up to standard on this map. Nouns also played to their standard on the map.
My biggest question is, will the trend continue? As we talked about, as we've hyped up, these teams are now playing their third best of 3 in 4 days. In both cases, in both prior engagements, it was a reverse sweep. It was NRG taking map 1 and Nouns taking map 2 and map 3 at the RMR close qualifier. It was Nouns winning first yesterday and NRG reverse sweeping. Is it Nouns' turn to clap back and to continue to trade these series? That is the question. We are into Ancient, ladies and gentlemen. NRG starting on the CT side of their opponent's map pick. You have 2 sets of dualies, a flash on Nitro, a kit smoke on automatic, and 2 sets of utility, 2 smokes and 2 Molotovs between Junior and Carson for the offensive. Early B lean, and a flash in for NRG to swing down at the bottom of ramp, but Rush takes them both down. Hex trying to answer, finds 3 of his own on the dualies, swinging things quickly back the way of the CT side. This player stuck behind the doors has no bomb in his control. He's gonna try to fight his way forward. Meanwhile, George's flank has already been figured out. Automatic holding for it, finds the kill. It's just Junior outside doors. In a 1 versus 3. He'll find the first, not the second. 4 for HexT on the pistols. Keep in mind, he had a slow map 1. And additionally, this is the third of 3 pistol rounds going the way of NRG.
Yeah, 3 for 3 on the pistol rounds. NRG really turning the tide on the pseudo coin flip rounds. I mean, technically, it's like, oh yeah, pistol rounds are 50-50. They're not really in actuality, but they are one of the more even rounds to have, and NRG looking great so far today. That's a massive turnaround and a return to form from them. And it's not like you can just go back and workshop pistol rounds in a day to fix it. So they're just hitting their shots. It's a lot of what it comes down to. And Automatic has OC and HexT with him too. It's a massive farm for NRG. All 5 players alive. HexT with another multi-kill. 3 instead of 4 this time, but he's heating up in a big way. Had a bit of a slow start on map number 1. But so far, so good for HexT and NRG on the blue. Nouns, though, getting the AKs out. It was just Glocks in the last round. First test for NRG's defense, and they have 3 MP9s to try and stall out this take. Utility is good, though, for the CT side, and that will help them out significantly against the Nouns buy, which does lack some utility. And it looks like they're going to lean towards A. Nobody on the A side proper, just 1 and Donut in Breeze. Now OC will make his way to the A site. Nouns taking it slow and steady. But NRG are in a decent spot to be able to rebuke this.
Yes, they are. It's very interesting. Both teams flip-flopping the side start on these starting maps. So it's the same 3 maps, but they're starting on opposite sides. NRG yesterday on this map had a 9-round, 3-round lead at the end of their T side to start things off. This time around, they elected to start on the CT side. Maybe a shift. Maybe they realized potentially that their T side could be easily read. Either way, it's working out in the early goings. Push in the middle from Nouns. 3 here, looking to go towards Donut. The flash assist is there, and it's good. Breeze 1, HexT a second, Automatic a third. They collapse in towards middle, drop the bomb on the ground, and Nouns' A site split has been dismantled. It's just a final pair. 1 flanking in through A site, 1 walking back in middle, and at this point, it should be curtains yet again. HexT blindsides CJ. Junior in his own spawn with 30 seconds remaining might find this 1 flank. Here we go, a little bit of a delay on the pull. It's the kill onto Automatic. Should be no chance for Junior in this round now. 15 HP at this point. He's just trying to hold on to his gun for dear life. NRG, swift 3-0 start. Not allowing a bomb plant in any of these rounds either. Keeping what? They had 3 alive in the first round, 4 alive in the second. No, 5 alive in the second, and now 4 alive in the third. That builds up CT economy very quickly.
That CT economy is going to look very strong here moving forward. And Nouns without a bomb plant here in the saved AK, probably not going to be able to go for too much of a heavy investment. A timeout already called by Nouns, and this is a good time to call it. This has been much too poor of a start for Nouns.
They had a poor start. They're in a wacky spot economically because of that one save rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Go for something quick and different with Tech 9s. Probably a B play with a split in through Cave/Jaguar. That would be my call. But just optimize Junior's play, boost him up on the box, and let him play second contact for your pistols racing up ramp, for example. Go for the force buy just to stabilize the economy. Go from there.
Tech 9's armor, little bit of utility. Junior's AK to try and do some heavy lifting. The op's out for OC, though, and that is not exactly a good prospect for Nouns to have to go up against early on in this map. Nitro gets a lot of information, tosses in the nade. It'll do a little bit to Junior, but not much overall. Smoke will be a little bit late, although Junior's going to get caught in the open here. Blindsided by automatic, no refrag at all. Finally, Rush gets one back, and he'll actually double down before Nitro leaves it up to CJ. Nitro hemorrhaging, but he's still alive and kicking. One on the flank is Breeze. Bomb is planted. AK recovered for CJ, but he would need to get himself to a 1.0 KD to pull this one off, and he did not spot the leg of Breeze there. I thought that showed beyond the x-ray, but CJ doesn't register it, and so NRG, a 4-0 start. That's the first bomb plant for Nouns as well, and it was only given to them because Nitro fell off the angle because of his low health.
Low health and low ammo. 4-0. Nouns, helped by the bomb plant, will have a very solid investment in round 5. The pressure is already mounting. HexT at 10 kills. Automatic being 5. And only one bomb plant being secured. Nouns probably feeling the pressure. And as we talked about in the pre-show, this is an elimination matchup for the closed qualifier. Carson gets ahead of the Molotov bottom ramp. That'll give him some space to clear out, but NRG are playing this very passively. One player back long, one player cave, only 2 on B, and Nitro just tucks in and waits for the player to press forward. He gets one for free and spots them crossing. He gets a second before falling. DJ takes him down, but the flash is exemplary for automatic to swing through. Hex supporting there. 2 versus 4. Nouns thought they were exploiting a weak point, instead are beckoned into a trap. 2 versus 4 for George and Junior. One's lurking in middle, but that's being held by OC on a very niche angle. Here's the kill for free. Junior spamming out of sheer desperation, does not connect a single bullet. And HexT puts him to bed as well. No bomb plant, no respite. Only 1 kill to be spoken of, and a very flat Nouns T side.
Flat, it might be imploding in on itself at this point. Last night, 13-4 in favor of NRG on this map. Does not look to be getting much better for Nouns right now. They have failed to respond in any sort of meaningful way. Rush has 4 kills. Junior and CJ have 3 combined. Rush has more kills than all of his teammates combined, and he only has 4. HexT will get 1. Automatic will take out George. No refrag, no recourse here for Nouns as they continue to struggle to get anything going. This round a little more understandable as it's just pistols and armor. But this T side is absent.
No clear direction either, just hoping to be given something. Falling back into the trap that we talked about yesterday. Trying to play for picks. Aimless in their overall aspirations of the round. And at this point, I'm going to say it, scared.
Yeah.
Scared of what HexT has done. Of what Nitro can do on B. Just baiting them in. And the utility, it seems oppressive and omnipresent. HexT tucked in the cubby will be mollied forward. I don't think he was hurt either.
He was silent.
Ready to just...
And now he hears it all.
Lincoln behind them. 1, 2, spots the third. The spray down doesn't quite connect, but Nitro's there in the back line. 14 kills and 1 death for HexT. I was worried he might not show up in this series given his slow start on Inferno. Clearly not the case now, as he is a shining spot, a blinding spot on the scoreboard.
Another timeout called by Nouns, and another timely timeout considering they don't have much more margin for error. NRG are halfway to overtime. OC will have that op still. Junior will have one to try and counter. The AKs are out, but again, for Nouns, 7 kills across the team in 6 rounds. It is a very John Madden-esque saying, but to win rounds in Counter-Strike, you have to get kills. It's like saying scoring more touchdowns than the other team is going to win you the football game. But at the end of the day, that is what it boils down to. And Nouns are not shooting back.
No, it feels like they're running their plays, right? They're getting control, going for defaults. Just getting shut down. Play towards Cave and towards Top Snake every single time has been shut down by HexT. He seems to be caught above. Yeah, and the utility as well. It's been so good. The flashes have been perfect. Rifles are in hand. Junior has an op. Need to see a fundamental restructuring of this approach from Nouns, or some players picking up the mouse and keyboard to really right the ship at this point.
Yeah, great flash down B ramp. CJ blind spray. Big onto Nitro. That will force HexT away. First opening Nouns have had the entire map so far. OC, though, posting up in Cave, has rifle support as well. Just needs to land the first shot back away. Doesn't hit it. He's still alive and kicking flames to force him into the open. OC will roast. Now a double man advantage, triple man advantage. Rush has gotten a kill as well. Automatic explodes and fire and flames as Junior puts him down with the op. And Breeze held at bay by the same Molotov. Might just meet the same fate. That's a crispy shot onto Carson. Doesn't even give Carson much chance to do anything at all. But Breeze will eat a nade and eventually decide to run away with the AK and save. No chance in this 1 versus 5 that he turned to a 1v4. And off the back of the timeout, Nouns will finally crack open the goose egg and try to attempt to make an omelet out of this map. They hit shots, Nate.
Hit shots. They slowed down as well. Little bit of luck was required. Talking specifically about the opening kill. Blind spam. Bullet number 16 or 17 connects for CJ. But for surviving as well, helps that T-side economy. But they have a lot to do if they want to come back into this one. Not just winning a second round, but winning a third and a fourth. They need to break this CT economy if they want to come back into it in a big way. Pressure's not going to lighten up for quite some time either. Full rifles, full utility. Nitro's hurting a bit for cash, but his teammates can easily soak up that loss. He's at 12.8k in the bank for crying out loud. Double nade up towards Snake. Drops Carson to half HP. He'll race in, again trying to go towards Caves. Early, and again, HexT finding an early opening kill. Now at 15 kills to his name, and still looking for more. He might blindside Rush depending on the timing. No, he might get blindsided instead. Very awkward spot for the player to be in. Flash comes through. HexT is looking the wrong way. He'll still get one before falling. Rush will double in response. It's only to bring it back to even footing, and Nitro has maintained the space gained by HexT. Rush jumping for joy, caught in the air. Advantage swings back to NRG. Junior wants something on this Opper's duel. Neither is going to take it outright. OC falling back to a different angle. Nitro might get spotted. George gets the info, gets some damage. Now the info's gained for Nitro in kind. Op for OC posts up. Op for OC won't miss. He's been quiet on this map, but not much has been asked of him. He has not missed yet. There's Junior. 1v3, and at this point, do you go for it? An op in hand, with enough money in the bank to potentially buy in the next, maybe. Do you go for it? Do you even try? Or does this weapon prove too difficult to let go of?
There's not much residual cash on Carson or Rush. And you want to give Rush the best buy. Wallbang for Junior. He knows OC's here as well, but will OC win the next fight? Yes, he will. Will not be daunted. And goes over for the Gunganier as well. So, interesting to note there. OC dropping the D-lore for the Gunganier. But that one round for Nouns, the important part of that round is that it's isolated. No string for the T side. Minimal losses for the CTs. They'll be able to soak up that economic damage. Breeze and OC rich as can be. And for Nouns, AKs, utility again. But the confidence is not there. The Nouns that you expect to see is not there. And at this point, they're looking more like articles than like nouns, Nate.
Adjectives. All descriptors, but no substance behind them.
That's a good one.
Not even George to rally around. Breeze flanking through A main, gets one, doesn't quite commit the second spray down. Rush gets a trade, but automatic and kind maintains an advantage. Four versus three. Nouns still rocking it as they will. Still looking comfortable. NRG. Nitro's been holding this long position incredibly well. It's more passive. It's worked swimmingly for at least one. Smoke will give them the cross. Does Nitro spam, or does he spam? No, he's going to boost his teammate instead.
Boost. Yeah.
Spots the head. The spray doesn't quite connect, but they know the bomb is there now. And a little bit of chip damage. NRG still well poised, well advantaged going into this retake, especially with the utility on OC.
Oh yeah, OC's got all the utility. He can just be the support opper, toss all the nades, toss all the flashbangs, Molotovs, and Carson's going to go aggressive, only get one as HexT is there for a clean trade. Automatic on the op this time will add another, leaving it up to Rush on 29 HP to try and hold the line. If he spams, his position's revealed. He's traced back by HexT, who has 18 kills in 9 rounds. 2 kills per round for HexT, a 6.0 kill-to-death ratio, 190 for the ADR, Nate. Rush is 105. Everybody else on Nouns sub 50. And they've called their third and final timeout going into round number 10.
And I don't blame them for using it either. Last time.
You can't.
Was it yesterday where we saw Nouns calling
was.
timeouts that was too early? I think it was versus Wildcard, yeah.
No, it was a NRG on Ancient.
We said, what are they doing?
They called like 3 timeouts in like 2 rounds. It was weird.
And it wasn't too far gone. This time around, though, more well-founded. It's a double-edged sword. Because if you require 3 timeouts to get more than 1 round, what can you really do? Full AKs, okay utility. Rush and Carson lacking flash, or lacking something, but A is the swap up. Interesting idea. OC is here and posted with the op in hand. It'll be difficult to crack open this site. And Nouns aimless again. Go for early A main control, trying to shut down Breeze, who pushed in the round prior, or even the round before last. Of course, not being given that opening, now they just have to look elsewhere. And in the meanwhile, they've wasted a lot of time looking for anything to work off of. Flash in, automatic, a double. Both in middle dispatched. HexT is tagged down low, but the main advantage is secured. Bomb is also at his feet. HexT slinking out of cave. Looking for Rush. For low HP, can he find it? No, but he'll do a boatload of damage, and Nitro's ready for the trade. Nitro's ready for the double. NRG, a 9th on the board, guaranteed with that kill from automatic. Players on NRG can seemingly do no wrong.
They can only do right. They can only find kills. They can only win duels. NRG aren't even having to necessarily make reads. They're just flashing for people to take fights. And when that doesn't work, they're taking the fights anyways and still winning. George and Carson, 1 kill apiece. CJ, 2 kills apiece. Junior at 4. Rush maintaining his metric of having more kills than his entire team combined.
And many even. It's been even for a shockingly long amount of time.
Yeah, he's getting 1 kill at least and then going down. Carson tries to creep through the smoke. That's an idea.
Fake, though. 3 towards A. OC, though, is already ready. He's in
It's
spot
too late.
primed for a retake. And Nate opened the smoke as well to look for the opening. He saw a player. That is George to drop Breeze. CJ is low.
Look at automatic. He slipped through.
So quick on this flank. Rush drops HexT, though. HexT has finally been humbled a bit in this map. Vantage secured for this T side, but this flank is totally unexpected. Automatic whiffs the shot, gets 1, can't find the second. That should have been guaranteed onto CJ. Nitro coming in through CT, looks for 1, but no, they line up. George finds a double. Finally, the multi-kill master activates. But it's only for a second round. They're still down by 7 with only 1 remaining in this first half.
Best case is a 9-3. You do not want that to be your best case. A 9-3 half is pretty abysmal. And I would say borderline catastrophic. NRG, more than enough money to buy him back in. They'll go for a little bit of aggression down mid, but more towards Jaguar and Cave instead. Snake control fully there. 2 players clearing out through B on the Snake side, 1 down the ramp, automatic peering bottom middle. OC's going to know it's going to go towards A here. All the information gained for NRG with 127 to go. The flashes are just going to clue this in even more. 1 shot connected by OC. He'll look for more, but here comes automatic 1 for 1. If he got 2, it would have been big for NRG. Still a man advantage, but it would have been even cleaner. HexT has slipped into Donut as well and will escape the fire for now. Nitro grouping up potentially as well. All 3 T-sided players on the A side proper. And 2 are going into Donut. A lineup for HexT, who will not miss that. He has been a master of multi-kills himself. Won't even go to swap out the gun. Will stick on the M4A4 at Junior with an AK. Last alone. Bomb is technically planted for him. He'll get a pair of kills, but only the pair before Breeze puts him down. 10-2 for NRG into the halftime break. Here we are as NRG are running away with map number 2. It's Boggs and Pineapple Phillips here. Nouns are not here, Nate. They are somewhere, but not in the server. Only 2 rounds on the board. Only Rush really able to do much at all in response. And NRG, doesn't matter who on the lineup you pick, are hitting shots, taking names, clicking heads, and winning rounds.
Winning pistol rounds too, which was a very big sore spot as of late for this team. Nouns, a must-win pistol at this stage, down 2-10. They'll find the first successfully. CJ's at the one-and-done spot with support, but he can only find nothing before falling. Carson as well, one and done. 3 versus 3 for NRG. Bomb down as well, and post-plant positioning secured. Hex links by. NRG, Hex top from the sidelines, though, as George beheads him. OC 1, OC 2. Leaving just George to try and pick up the pieces. It would be 3 in the round for him and a 1 versus 2. Got in the first, but no kit makes it all the more difficult. And time is being played expertly by the opper of an NRG, or is it? George takes the duel. Does he have enough time? The bomb began to tick, but I think he does. Oh, he has the kit. There was a kit in play. It was recovered. Anticlimactic end compared to what I thought it was, but still, Nouns, a much-needed 3rd round on the board.
A much-needed 3rd on the board, but 4 kills plus plant means NRG are going to go back in with a buy here. Mac 10 for Breeze already purchased. Will we see an AK? Automatic on Galil. OC AK armor, HexT AK armor. No helmet for those 2, which is a curious decision. Nouns with a couple M4A4s, a FAMAS, and a pair of MP9s. They are ready to deal with the unhelmed opponents. But HexT is having himself a day, so it might not even matter. Automatic as well, a 2.0 KD, but it pales in comparison to HexT's above 3.0 KD. Still for Nouns, it starts with the pistol round. A win here gets them within about probably 5 before all is said and done. A long road back in. But they have to take it 1 round at a time. Oppressive utility being used, though, and nothing coming from it.
Yeah, at least they won pistol. The bomb plant means that NRG had that force buy. You mentioned oppressive utility. That oppressive utility is going to wear out. It takes a lot to hold this bottom snake control. NRG all stacked up outside the B doors. Now they'll throw some utility to get control. Smoke towards cave and top snake catwalk jump. Rush. First contact just spotting at the top of ramp. He has 2 players in tow. 25 seconds left though. NRG have to make their play. Through the smoke they'll come. Carson 1, Hex strays, but Rush mows him down with Carson as support. Nouns, a critical round to win, and rather cleanly as well. Converting their pistol round victory and shutting down NRG to start a very audacious comeback in map number 2.
Again, starts with 1. We'll see what more they can do. They've got a couple going. Just pistols to contend with this round. NRG would like to do a little bit of damage here, given the fact they did nothing at all in the last round. A kill or 2 would be nice to thin out that CT economy. What will NRG do, though? Looking for a pick. Rush will go forward, combined with George for the opener. No recompense just yet for the tease. Again, just get a kill or 2. That's all they need. A little bit of damage to that CT economy. Not a huge ask, considering.
It's not. She was noticeably giving away an opportunity. HexT in his stomping grounds, but on the other side of the equation this time. We'll have support. All 4 grouping up for a walk in towards cave. The control has been given to them, so they'll get a lot of control for free. They burst on to B, should at the very least net a bomb plant at this stage. Nouns making the wrong read in this one.
Rush's spray does damage, but no kill there. Breeze enables the bomb plant to go down as he'll go forward for more, but George will double up. He'll look for more as well. Automatic and Nitro, the last two standing. Nitro falls with a whimper, and so does Automatic. Now only 5 rounds separating these two teams, but the bomb plant is a nice result for NRG regardless. Gives them the guns, the 1 kill, not huge. 2, 3, then we're starting to talk about some good damage. 1, not as much, but it's better than nothing. Junior will be on the op here. OC will not sniff around the op. He'll go AK and utility instead. But now it's beginning to make a slight case for themselves. They can draw within 3, within 2. Now we're talking about a potential comeback here. Still a little bit more to go before confidence is really restored in this Nouns roster. But NRG's T side, failing to find anything successful just yet. Not calling a timeout either, which, given the fact they have, I think they still have 2 left, or even all 3, would be a bad idea to call a timeout. HexT almost catches Carson out and hopping in the middle, and Automatic will put him down. Eats the nade damage, but that is a nice opening pick going the way of the NRG squad.
Good opening pick to find. If you recall yesterday, NRG started off on T side and had a 9-3 advantage. So they are still very well read on this side now that they have rifles in hand. Nitro furthers the advantage, punishes the press over towards B ramp. Further hamstrings the defense. Going for a gamble. CJ, George Jr. all migrating over towards B/middle. NRG waiting for any additional aggression out of the CT side.
Flash is going in. Junior can try to stabilize things, and he will be successful with that first kill, but that's just going to spring the bomb in towards CJ's direction on A. Already working around his Automatic. And he'll catch CJ off as well. That all came down to timing, and it works out for Automatic. Bomb going down on A, and the last 2 Nouns on B. Presumably going to save here as there's no recourse back into the round. And it looks again, Nate, like NRG, back in the win column and back to their dominating ways.
It's a convincing win as well, through and through. Finding the openings, not letting it fall by the wayside. A little bit slow, a little bit back to the old ways that we were worried about. We don't like how they slow down for picks. They eventually get a move on. Don't let the round get away from them. 11-5. Op going to be saved for Junior. Might actually be a hunt here. White. 11-5. There'll be a buy around those 2 saved weapons. Nouns had some money left in the bank. NRG, no problem reinvesting as well. NRG. Is that one replicable? It should be. Again, they dominated on the T side yesterday. There's nothing less now. Rush in towards cave, looking to find something. HexT, though, all the way up top. Cat already looking for Karsten and Donut. Karsten needs to be careful here. Still has utility out. Meanwhile, NRG are going to vie for control here.
Junior will take out OC and Nitro as well, but CJ falls in the interim over on A. Breeze shut down by Carson on the trade, keeping the man advantage there for Nouns. A little bit more forthcoming perhaps, though, from this NRG squad. HexT is low, but he can still be dangerous. Automatics had himself a very solid performance as well, still alive and kicking. Carson solo here on A. As Automatic creeps on forward, Carson misses the first opportunity, but through the smoke, he'll take out HexT. Automatic 1 versus 4, none versus 4. Carson can anchor it out. And so Nouns will live to fight another day. It's not quite match point just yet, but it's darn close to it. Still down by 5. They can't afford to lose 2. They can only afford to lose 1, and even then, would not be fantastic at all.
No one. Rush continues his very steady pace. 13-13, continuing to be neutral. George, Carson, Jr., though, all 3 are waking up. 9, 9, and 10 kills, respectively. NRG on the cusp of being reset now with automatic on only a Galil and cobbled together utility for this T side. And Jr. again wins against his rival OC. Catches the op peering over top box. Big opening to find, but HexT in return finds Rush through the wall.
George a double up here as he starts to heat up too. Better late than never for him. And automatic and Breeze actually bring this back to a 2 versus 2. George and Jr. both on ops. This has gone haywire again for Nouns. Unable to stabilize things, unable to have consistent success. Can they hold it off, or will things be taken over by NRG once again? Things slow down as NRG are letting Nouns sweat. Nouns are the team with everything to lose. NRG only need 2 more rounds. Slow and steady. Methodical. Looking to try and retake the bomb. Time is beginning to run down a little bit more. It all comes down to timing, though. If Breeze can catch Junior off looking the wrong way, it's a 1 versus 2. And Junior will actually, rather, it's George who misses the first op shot. He'll tag down Breeze Jr., but Breeze now has help coming through. The bomb's been taken. An automatic sprints towards the A site. The bomb will go down. And now it's a 1 versus 1 to stay alive, essentially, for Nouns. An automatic, a veteran in this situation. Not one you want to be in a 1 versus 1 against with all on the line.
No, it's not. Automatic has a lot of angles to worry about. He's trying to take the fight early. Will at long last make a decision on where he wants to go in this post plant? The choice is a main.
Does have fire.
Does. Rival Junior is coming through Donut. Time is of the essence. There is a kit. There's a smoke. Junior will drop that. The Molotov is now a moot point. Nade towards A main. Might finish off automatic. No, not quite. The stick will come through. Automatic spray is too far left, though. And that is the round stolen away by Junior. Automatic very close to winning the 1v1, but just does not expect Junior to stick around the side of the box. So the round could have gone either way to the very bitter end. It goes the way of Nouns and continues their potential return to form in this second map.
But is it too little too late? That's the real question. NRG finally forced to call a timeout here at the very least. Nouns getting closer and closer here, but that was way too close for comfort. Going down to a 1 versus 1 from what was such a strong look from Nouns. NRG will buy in. They don't have much residual cash, so they will be on the verge of a reset at long last, although with the loss bonus being what it is, there is a chance Bomb Plant will get them back on a buy again. Nouns don't have much money left over either. Only Junior has money. The rush has cooled. Meanwhile, Carson, George, and Junior have risen to take over that spot. Still, nobody anywhere near the likes of HexT or Automatic, 25 and 17 each. Nobody else on NRG at double-digit kills just yet, so kind of ironic that Nouns technically have more players with double-digit kills than NRG, considering how everything looks.
It was a very top-heavy first half for NRG.
Oh, yeah.
They're beginning to sweat a bit. Nouns. They've been winning rounds rather consistently, but they have not been clean. Someone's a 1v1 ninja. Nouns are back, or NRG, excuse me, are back to their slow, control, and hold. Back to their playing for picks. Automatic bottom jump up boxes, hoping for a regress middle, along with HexT. 2 in A main, just waiting for aggression. Seems like they've made their choice, though. 3 in A main, 2 in middle. Bomb is at main as well. Junior's op. A rare miss and potentially a punish now as automatic skills all the way forward. Another missed shot. They're both caught in donut. The third in CT is smoked off. Carson will get 1 in the chaos. But it's still a very difficult proposition for them in the retake with only smokes. Carson's actually already calling it quits. Looks like NRG will secure map point in round number 19.
NRG, match point here. A nice explosion from Automatic and Breeze. 2 kills, all they need to win the round. Doesn't get much easier than that. I guess the only way it would get easier is 1 kill or even none. But as it stands, NRG, 1 round from a rematch with Wildcard, who await the winner of this in the upper bracket final. Now, the one thing that does even the playing field a little bit more, if you are the team coming through the lower bracket, is winning that opening matchup in 2-0 fashion. That gives you some time to rest, some time to prep, and a little bit of time to warm up again before you get back into it. It's not as taxing as well to go for 2 maps as it is for 3, and if it's something light like a 13-7, 13-7, as we might see here, that's not too shabby at all. CJ, though, aggressive. Only 1, though. Nitro traded out by HexT, and Carson doesn't even go for the peak. That's a bit of a missed opportunity for Nouns, although it would have been a big gamble. They can't really afford to play too safe at this stage of the game. They can't lose another round.
No, they can't. Backs are literally against the wall in this case. 4 versus 4. Favors the T's technically, and I think it definitely does in this case, even if HexT is at below half HP. Jordan's on only an MP9. There's not a lot of utility left. Only 1 smoke, in fact, for Nouns. Rush is also the lone B defender. He's in cave. Junior will bolster by coming up cat. Actually, the smoke is faded as well, but another missed opportunity on the op. He won't miss the second. Freeze throw utility caught. Advantage secured, but Rush mollied on the site is caught in the open. HexT, the spearhead of this take, evens things back up. It allows for a bomb plant from his teammates. Flash over. HexT not blinded. He'll get a 3rd in the round. He's reactivated and on for 30 if he can find the ace. He'll race into cave. It's Junior and George. We've had an okay map, but a 2 versus 3, and with an unwieldy op in hand, this is going to be an uphill battle. OC takes down his rival, just George, back against the wall, against the world. He'll find the first. Time, though, over halfway gone. He'll flash forward. Both are at the ramp playing together, and OC will swing with sheer confidence. 13-7 on map number 2, and NRG take the series in a 2-0 fashion.
13-7, 13-7 for NRG. Crisp and clean, concise and regimented Counter-Strike. Not really ever nervous for them throughout